Welcome to Take a Side, the sports talk show that lets you, the viewer, get in on the action and pick our winners. I'm Jacob Polacheck, and we've got a great show for you today. It's been a crazy week from the NBA's protest to the MLB's wildcard race. With a historic week in sports that saw numerous athletes from around the globe go on strike in response to the police shooting of Jacob Blake in Kenosha, Wisconsin, we'll be talking about all of that and more. But before we do, for those joining us for the first time, I want you to get on your phones, download the Sided Debates app, and get in on the action. At the end of each week, we'll take your votes and crown a winner. For our first debate today, I'm joined by Emma House and Max McElroy, and they'll be debating their picks to win the Big 12 Conference. Make sure to get on Sided and take your own side before this debate expires. Assuming the college football season goes as planned, who is your pick to win the Big 12 Conference?
Well, great to be back. It's been a long time. I think for me, this is just a no-brainer for me. Kansas, obviously.
Obviously.
Bias aside, I genuinely think Texas will win the Big 12. And I think a big reason for that is just stability with the quarterback. So Sam Ehlinger was actually put in the Heisman vote preseason of last year, and then he's in it again this year. He returns for the third year as a starter, and I think unarguably he is the best quarterback in the Big 12. And in a league like that, with surrounded by just offensive weapons, I think having the best quarterback will really be able to, get them finally to the promised land that they've been wanting for so long. So.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to go with Oklahoma for this one. They're just on fire recently. Nobody can deny it. Their coach, Lincoln Riley, is going into his fourth season with a record of 36-6. I don't think he plans on stopping anytime soon. The former coach, Bob Stoops, kind of set up that great program for him, and I think Lincoln Riley is running away with it, but also making it his own and kind of shaping it to how he wants. And, they've obviously have all the wins to kind of show that. So they've had 11 or 13 Big 12 conference titles. The last 3 were with Lincoln Riley. And he's a former quarterback from Texas Tech. He knows how to play in the Big 12. He knows how to coach in the Big 12. And he knows how to win. So I think it's just kind of a no-brainer. The Sooners are going for it.
Yeah, it's always tough to pick against Oklahoma. However, this year, there's just a couple things with Oklahoma that I'm not sure about. So for one, what's the quarterback situation in Oklahoma like? Because each year they've had great quarterbacks, but this is the first year where it kind of seems like it's an unknown. There's no transfer quarterback or anything like that. So.
Yeah, they are still deciding a quarterback. Nobody really knows what's going on. Lincoln Riley has a plan, I guess, and Sooners fans are kind of hoping he picks the right one. He's got 2 great candidates, but it's kind of just when is he going to announce it, especially with the season starting so soon and still nobody's announced. But
yeah, I know they had a great recruit in Spencer Radler. I know he was coming in and everyone was excited about him, but he didn't really get to play very much, and so I think that'll be really interesting. And then another thing with Oklahoma that I have thought about is who's going to be their big wide receivers. They had Hollywood Brown for 2 years. They had CeeDee Lamb for 3 years. And so I just am curious to see how that offense can function without, those big names.
Yeah, I do know that they have a couple of good 4-star recruits. One of them is a wide receiver, but still I think everything's up in the air too. I think this season should definitely have a little asterisk next to it because nobody really knows what's going on. Who would have thought that we were going to be in a pandemic? But I think they're doing the best with what they have and with the kind of recruiting that they can get.
Yeah, it's such a weird time. And since everything's weird, I bet Texas probably will win the Big 12 now. Who would have thought that would happen? In all seriousness, with Texas though, they returned 9 defensive starters, and I don't know, especially in a season where you didn't have a lot of camp time and you didn't have a lot of time where the players could get together, having that structure and consistency of 9 players on defense coming back, I just think will just be huge for the team. And I think in a league with Oklahoma, they have a lot of different offensive weapons from last year to this year. How is that going to relate to a defense that has almost everyone back?
Yeah, it'll definitely be a toss-up, I think, and people are just going to be kind of doing what they can. And I think especially as teams possibly get coronavirus or get sick with the flu or whatever, I think that it's going to definitely put a hinder on the season, and it should be really interesting to see who continues to play. Like, are we gonna, if one team is out, is the whole
Right.
Big 12 over, or are we just gonna continue without them?
Yeah.
So.
And I don't know about you. I'm just glad the Big 12 is playing football this year. Hopefully
Me
everyone
too.
is safe and everyone stays healthy.
Yeah.
But we're gonna cut to break. When we come back, we'll see you again soon.